So probably my favorite single thing in 2017 was DuraAce Di2. You never have to mess with it. You set it once and it's dialed, there's no cables to stretch. With the new one, you can adjust the speed of the shift. Synchro shift is something that I don't care for. I think that's weird, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. You've got options now. Everything's customizable these days, and so is your drivetrain. So I like that. One thing ETAP has up on DuraAce is that when shifting with your thumbs there, you can also shift the front derailleur. So that's something I kind of miss with Di2, but in general I think it's superior to ETAP. So
I really enjoyed riding the Lauf True Grip bike, which was launched earlier this year. Lauf have had their leaf-sprung suspension fork in various guises for a number of years now, but they have built a bike around it. It gives you 30mm of suspension with a reasonably stiff spring. The idea is just to take the edge off those hits, so it's not like a traditional mountain bike fork. What it does, it smooths the front end of your bike out, improves control, improves grip, and just makes those longer gravel rides on slightly rougher surfaces that little bit more enjoyable. You can buy the grip fork on its own to add to your own gravel bike, or you can buy the True Grip bike as a standalone item from Lauf direct. If you want the bike straight away, they'll ship you one direct from Taiwan on air freight. If you want to save a little bit of money though, about 10%, you can wait 8 to 12 weeks and it'll come slightly slower once the bike's ready built, or if you want one of the custom colours. I've got a True Grit in for testing at the moment, so look out for a full video review soon on BikeRadar.
Without a doubt, my long-term bike, a Fuji SL 1.5, was my favourite road product of 2017. It's around £3,000, so it was relatively affordable, and I wanted to attach some extremely unaffordable products to get it down to a really lightweight for my hill climb season in 2017. It started life around the 7 kilo mark with SRAM's Force Group set, and I added loads of fancy parts and got it down to 5.3 kilos, so a pretty crazy weight saving. I'm not much of a home mechanic and I'm a bit lazy with maintaining my bikes, but the Fuji SL was really easy to live with. It's fairly fuss-free and there's no kind of strange standards on it. Caliper brakes, standard headset, standard BB. So for me, that was exactly what I wanted.
Although it's not been released yet, Met's new Trenta 3K carbon helmet was given to us a couple of months ago at Eurobike, and I've been wearing it since then, and it is my favourite product of 2017. The two things I look for in a helmet are aesthetics and fit, and the Trenta ticks both of those categories for me perfectly. So it's made with carbon ribs, which kind of reduces the thickness of the helmet by not having as much EPS foam, so it sits close to your head, improving the look as well. The helmet's pretty light and follows recent trends of being semi-aero, so kind of looks like an aero helmet but still has ventilation along the lines of a Giro synth. There'll be 2 World Tour teams using the helmet next season, and if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
For 2017, Canyon updated its DuraAce and Ultimate road bike lines with women's-specific geometry. Previously, both the Ultimate and DuraAce had unisex geometry. Canyon have updated that for 2017 using data they've collected from their website. And if you want to know more about those, we'll stick the links in the description below. In particular, I really got on with the DuraAce. The old incarnation of the DuraAce did well in our 2017 Bike of the Year tests. This new version was supremely comfortable to ride. I've tested both the high-end version and the entry-level version. Now, unsurprisingly, the high-end version was amazing, but the entry-level version was also really comfortable. And if you're looking to buy a bike under £2,000 or thereabouts, then it would be hard to go wrong with that version of the DuraAce WMN.
By far, the product I enjoyed most this year was actually nothing new at all, but I recently purchased a tandem with my girlfriend, and it's the most fun I've ever had on a bike, and I'm hoping I get to spend more time in that next year as well. I've never ridden a tandem before, and the experience is just ridiculous. You look completely daft on it, riding it is a complete hoot. More than anything though, it's been absolutely amazing for my Instagram.
This year I rode 3T's brand new Strada road bike, which is a road bike not as we know it. It's one by gearing only, you can't fit a front derailleur. It's got an aero frame that looks almost like a TT bike, and it's designed around 28mm tyres, which wouldn't be your natural assumption for an aero machine. I'm still not totally convinced about one by for the road, because I think there are situations where having more gears is still preferable. But I'm really glad that companies like 3T are innovating with this stuff and asking questions about why we ride the bikes we ride. More importantly though, it's actually a really nice bike. It rides fantastically well, it's super stiff, super comfy, all the good stuff. And as long as you're on the right terrain and you've got the range of gears you need, the one buy thing just works because you've only got to think about harder gear, easier gear, that's it. I don't know if the 3T Strada is the shape of things to come, but it's a fun, well-designed bike, and I'm really glad that it exists and that people are challenging what bikes should look like.
This year, there's been one thing I've enjoyed riding more than anything else, and that's the Moots Route RSL. In last year's version of the video, the Route RSL was the bike that I said I wanted to ride this year, and thankfully I got to, and also thankfully it did not disappoint. The whole bike has been so incredibly versatile. It's taken me on some big road rides, some huge gravel rides. It's been my bike packing bike, my commuter, my early season hill climb training bike. It's been every bike that I tended to ride regularly, but in one bike. I was lucky enough to test the Moots with 4 different wheel sets, but if you pick carefully and you went with the right 2 wheel sets, I reckon this could be the ultimate quiver killer.
I'm obliged to say that I really enjoyed riding the Specialized Roubaix that won our Bike of the Year. It was actually a brilliant bike, and I have been using that quite a lot this year. Really impressed with that. Towards the end of the year, I found myself on the Oro Terra C, which is actually a gravel bike. And I have to admit, I'm not really sure whether gravel bikes are a thing I actually need to get excited about. But I've been really excited by this bike. I've been using it on-road, a little bit of off-road. I haven't been going crazy, but I've done an event on it, and I really enjoyed it. Just a really well-rounded, sorted bike, something you can use for almost anything. Almost anything. It's obviously not a mountain bike, but you can have quite a lot of fun on it, big tyres, and it's orange.